Hey, what's happening? Yeah, we're starting. I know, I couldn't get ready. It's automatic, you know. They started the game. Automatic before I even knew. I was in my mother's stomach, and all of a sudden I was out, and I didn't know what was happening. And then one day I said, hey, Ma. I never said where I am. I knew I was at home. We never asked that question. Hey, Ma, how the fuck did I get here? I guess it was like that. You fell from the sky. Give me a minute, I want to light my cigarette. Got to get a little light into this because I ain't got much time. It's Yom Kippur, I got to go to shul, and the rabbi wants me to sleep over. I thought he was gay, but he's not gay. He's a very stern person, and he's got these visions in his head. I know what he has in his head. And so I'm going to stay over, and he told me he'd bring me a special book. I said, if you don't bring me a book with numbers, I says, forget it. So he's bringing me over the Kabbalah, so I can look into that book. Next. Of course it's going to be next. I'm going to make fun of that book from page 1 to page 1. Probably never past page 1. I'll probably expand the book before I get to the next page. Of course you have to know the answer. Anyways, this is what I'm going to tell you. Number 1, it's going to be a short video. Let me put down my stuff here. Get a little busy. You know what? No. Just in case the door opens in my head. You know what I do? I sometimes don't let the door open sometimes because I'm not finished writing it down. I'm busy thinking about it and writing it, but I didn't write it down perfect. So I don't open the door, and now I want to smoke a joint because I want to get into this video, but I don't want to forget all the things I have to do. I mean, every week I must throw out 80 pages. Let me light up this joint. I want to get lit. Where's my matches? I don't have any matches. Matches in the herring. We'll get that tomorrow night, or we'll get that at Passover. But holy God, what will pass over, and will the Lamb painted red blood on the edge of our door be forthcoming in the near future of the 10 Commandments of plagues? Should not a plague come back? But it's going to be a different plague. I don't know what kind of plague it can be. Sometimes they call it an encastre. Encastre. It means you have a bandage on your arm. Encastre means to cut a nut off a board. You cut a nut off a board, they separate where we are to the other place. One of them is separated, my friends. When you get the nut cut off, one of them now has been separated. You got one nut, it's okay, it's from one world. You got 2 nuts, you're from 2 worlds. Be nuts anyways. Where are you? It never shows up. In Monopoly, the $1 bill as white. In Monopoly, there's white backgrounds to the jailhouse. In Pool, all the black numbers have a white spot in the background. The diamond luxury in Monopoly has white. The diamond looks white. The community chest looks white. The waterworks looks white. And go to jail is white. So these are the things that can be repurified. You made a buck, you lost a buck, you made another buck, that's a good buck. You got the buck, of course. It's the Holy Ghost, you just don't know because you really need it in this world. When do we actually get to see white? Besides all the chemicals, really and truthfully, it's earth, wind, and fire. Otherwise, they wouldn't put it together. Phew. Fire, earth, wind. It's hot in here. I guess they put the letters together in a certain way. FEW 6, 5, 6, 5, 11. 23 and 11 is 34. 34 is the same number count for on my nose. 1. On. Nay in French. Nay, a horse. We got down. We're either one or the other. Which eye we come to be. Okay. Now that that's taken care of, the property cards also have white on them. Free parking as 2. Also has white. But all you see is black and red. There is a link. I'm going to try and remember this in Monopoly, but the second, number 3 and number 5, okay, are both before the railroad tracks, and they're both community chest, and the other one is 10%. Then you got the train track, okay, which says it's number 6. So the next train track would be 16. 1 and 6 is 7. It goes up. Instead of by 9s, Monopoly is by 10s. So it moves back and forth. And unless, okay, you start from go, or you hold it in your hand and you dice and you get 10 and you go to go and you go as go. 1 is go. You know what I'm saying? Most of the games have an area before the game. You never get back to go over this area like you get to go over go. Then we go on to the next possibility, and I'm going to flip up a page to see if I can see it here. Because, oh yes, here it is. Let me make this smaller. Okay. So then we have 3, 5. Let's skip the train, okay, which is 6, and 8. So we have 3, 5, and 8 on this row. We're only going to take 3. We're not going to take corners. We're not going to take trains. Then we go to the into jail all the way to free parking, okay, and we have different in the first half. We have electric company. Why do I tell you electric company? Because on electric company, there ain't no place to put a house, and you can't get a hotel. The same goes for waterworks. The same goes for the railroad stations. And the same go for all the corners. Community chest, chance, luxury tax, welcome 10%, and that is what it is. Everything has formation. Man made the board and God made man. Da la 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 la, what God put into our heads. If we can only move it and get it all together as one. So it work in sequence. Sequence? I didn't work on that word. And I don't even want to work on it. I don't want to know it. Don't remind me. Oh, now it's coming back all the fucking time. The rebound. You know why? Because I have to exhaust some information to get new information. And if I can't exhaust that, because I'm in a mode where I'm pulling down, I can't let it all come through at once, because then I won't know anything. It only can come at a certain speed. You have to make a few mistakes. Oh, I should have did it this way or that way. Really, no matter which way you do it, as long as you add properly, and even if you add a mistake, for a person like me, that mistake will tell me something of why I did it. Because of what I was thinking, what was in my mind at the time that I was making the relationship and the association with the numbers in front of me, the numbers on the screen, and what I'm thinking. Thank God of what I'm thinking. So now that we've totalized that, we're going to get back to the numbers in Monopoly that you have to watch for in the triplicates. And I'll bring up the design one more time for myself. And the other one you will see coming down, like I said, from in jail all the way to free parking. You've gotten 3 electric company. Then you have, we skip over, okay, the train, and we have community chest. We only have 2. I don't speak of the trains because there's a train on every corner. Monopoly is Jupiter. Jupiter plays with everything. We know Pluto is an intake to the world. If you have on your first roll 29, you will be on Marvin Gardens. Regardless of the price, I'm not sure right now. Okay? It has something to do with a birth in this world. And what's so fantastic, not because you have 29 or 9 and 2 in duplicate numbers or whatever, it's because you can't go to jail. The next position in that corner is go to jail, and everybody knows a horse takes more than 1 step. 1 to the right and 2 over, says the horse, of course. Do you know why? Because if you dice 1, 1, you're rolling again. So it's automatic. But with the law of averages, in the game of 8 and 8 chess, the horse moves 1, 2, 2, 1. Play lip, play lip, play lip, play lip, play lip. The horse is running down the lane. Hey, horsey, you look like a Clydesdale. What are you looking at, cowboy? I figured John Wayne would come out here, but Clint Eastwood, he was the man. He was the man of the hour all the time. But don't forget, James Bond 007, the only reason it's 007 is because the 8 is above the 7. It's 2 O's. When you look up and you see it like that, you don't know how it's connected. It might be overlapped and attached, and you don't know if it's a difference or the same. The same thing that has to do with roulette. 10 has an O on it, 20 has an O on it, and 30's got an O on it, but 15 has the letter O, don't have O. Hey, you don't have O, you don't have water. Because O in French is water. J-E, je, means I. Have you ever said, je suis, I am? But when God said I am, the only thing that's missing is the I in I am. How come he didn't say I'm? Because he wanted to say I am all. I am. Let me see if I can find it in here. If I wrote it down somewhere. I am. I don't know where it is, so I'm going to have to write it up fresh. I am who I am. It also says may, may-ow, may-ow. May-ow, may-ow. I'll write it out so you can hear it. Backwards, I'm reading, I am who I am. So I'm reading it as I can say the letters from my mouth. This is what it sounds like from my mouth. These are my vibrations. What your ears hear and what you try and want and think you heard, did you actually hear what I wanted you to hear as a sound? I'm not a musician. May-ow, 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 meow, 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 meow. Look. May, month of May, backwards in French, or May. You can say ma, ma-i, o, ma-i. Ma-i, o, money. I owe money. Ma-i, o, money. Ma-i, o, money. I mean, just because you'll say it fast, it says meow, meow, I owe money. I owe money. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, I owe, oh. Of course you owe it all to God. When we end this game, you know there's one left over. No matter what you do, you're going to be somewhere. You're always going to take up something, some space somewhere where a number that will be in the opposition of who you are because you can't reach out to it. Because it's the completeness of the ingoing and outgoing that they come around. They keep coming around like zip. They come around zip. So we did the thing with meow and the cat and I am. Now I remember and I forget what I was going to say, but I'm just going to write this down. 9, 1, 1, 3, 2, 3, 8, 1, 5. Now, what I'm going to tell you next is something I did what was amazing, very amazing. There's already a bunch of things I've forgotten. I know I'm with the Monopoly board. So I'm going to have to go back to the Monopoly board because I left it out for a minute. Thank God I remembered one of the 2 things. Whew. Gives me enough time to tell you a story about this to forget that I forgot. Because it hurts. It takes up time to think about something that you forgot. And what are you thinking of it for? Because now you're taking up time. You can think of something else. Or have an extra base to store more storage and leave it for the meantime. Now we're going from pre-parking to jail. When you go on the 3rd spot, again, you have a blue chance. B-C, before Christ, or letter 23. Think of it. B, blue, chance card. B is 2. 3 is C, 23. Now, if we go from go all the way over to chance, it is the 23rd spot. Wow. Chance, blue, go to chance, blue, equals 23. B, C equals 23. Whew. Wow. So we have one chance at number 3 And we have one waterworks at number 9. 3 and 9. Now we go over to the last side, which was from go to jail, which you can never sit on go to jail. So the worst, and once you go to the next corner, you're on the Pacific. Hey, we're on the Pacific, man, sure. All right, he passed jail. So what does that mean? Those who went to jail go to the Pacific, or they pass through jail, and those who don't get to the Pacific have been in jail? I don't know. I don't know, and I can start making names of different things, but I can't. Not until the society wants it, to see the truth inside the name of why and what it meant inside this game. So then we go to that fourth part. This time it's different. We have community chess, which is completely across from another community chess on number 4 or number 34. On number 4 or number 34. So either it's 7 or it's 11. Got to write that down. Monopoly, 34th, CC, position 4. So that makes 7-11. Oh my God. So then we have chance on number 7. So we have in this scenario, it's 4 and 7. And that's the time of Christ, my friend, coming home through Go. If you don't understand, just ask me. I'll pinpoint and explain it to you number for number, because this part of it is easy. As long as I can come back and remember, I'm going to write it down. Even if I write it down, it makes no sense. Everything goes back up into the memory, and it jogs it around for whatever it doesn't need. It sends it back up there, and then it's got to come back to me. And there's a hell of a lot of shit I work on, and I can't get it all back at once. It takes a long time. And then by the time it gets here, it's 6 months later. This is not a game for one. Maybe we should divide it up like the number is, 21. Just a number. Split it up into hundreds and thousands and millions and billions. It's the word of one, regardless of the lie. It's the word of one. That's why you must know in chess what the pieces are all about. Because are we all alike? Absolutely not. The reason we're not all alike is because we're not all like God. And the reason we're not like God, I mean that God kills, because God does everything we do, is God feels into the memory of good and evil. He puts on the evil a lock. Sometimes they call it Norton's firewall. They start to come in as Trojan horses and disrupt your Godz. Und das? We get disrupted by the good Lord, does not get disrupted. That's why we're not all alike. But the more we can know, regardless of what happens, it's all the way we think. Where we go and what we do, where we're forced, okay, is just a bypass, okay, in the element of life. We have to handle not having certain things, but when it comes to food, God made it really serious. If the poor man is on the street, you can call him in. But it's so hard today because you don't know who's coming in with a gun. But God understands that. So none of us are really letting in those people. So in our hearts, we get a little hardened. We still want to, but according to the actual way of living right now, we can't. So that hardens us over time, and it never goes away. And it will. The only time it'll satisfy you is when you can pay forward to somebody that owes you nothing. To somebody, yes, you can judge them and say, well, this one I'm not really sure, and you find one that seems a little softer in his heart, and you give it to him. Usually, they say give it to the worst of all. No. Catch those who are still able to be caught and work on the other ones later, because there's not much further they can go. There's only one step after dropping out, and that's dropping down 6 feet. A like. What's a like? A lake? A late? We're late? A like. A like. A key. Li, 29, birth, is a key, an entrance to be alike in this world, like our parents, to come into this world. Alike. DNA. The forepassing of the divisions of the ZZ pass. The NZ pass. NZ. I don't know why they call it like that. NZ, or how about the Enzo pass? Oh my God, Enzo. Wow. N. And now you have Z. What happens, why it's Enzo, is because the first letter, just before O and Omega, before and after the train tracks, okay, what happens is you're on a point 0. You can't get what's next to you, right? So what happens, you have to be able to get there, so they automatically give you an extra dice and you get a free roll. So you play with 2 dice. So in order to connect the next area, what they do is they put a 0 here and they slash it down, showing that there's no value over here. But it says no split value. So what they do, this is the energy that comes down here. Split value to here and all the way back down, the out energy. So the O is only a position. It's only a position like a link. Okay? You see these 2 O's over here? Well, one of the links we have is our nose that links them up. But the real way you want to link them up is by showing you where the pass is. They show you the center is here and here. The center is here. Now we make a full link from within an animal, or if you want to make the right link, the way everybody really looks to link it, you'd have to link it. Just let me do this before. You'd have to link it something like this. It would look like this. Now, if you really take a look at it and start to outline it, okay, it looks like it'll be a person here. This is his ghost mask holding on to 1 and 1. You see the X there that's now in a circle, and the X that's now in a circle because of the lines that crisscross to create this. This is the fish, and that's why they swim in a school. It's also like the elephant. Anyways, I cannot explain the whole thing, but then you still have to design the rest of your man. What comes out from whatever the value from within. It's almost like it's almost like, I'll do another one. So here's the 3 of them. These are separated. This one meets this one here. This one meets this one here. Okay? I mean in here. This meets this one in here. This meets this one in here. They bring them together in the center over here to do their shit. Okay? Then it goes to this one, and this one exhausts it. This one, it comes in and it comes around. How can I describe that? I really don't really... Because this is your electronic mind, more or less, okay? The manette, the play stick that you play with, okay? This is the play stick that you play with. And this here, over here, is you, okay? This side and this side. Here you are in the center trying to think. So here you are completely thinking in there, and you're guarded against this one, who's guarded in this world. But this is really not a safe world, because it can leak into here. Well, it's not so bad if it leaks into here, because if it leaks into here, okay, this is what sends it back this way and sends the energy back this way. There is no leak. It can't leak. It's an energy connected. It doesn't leak. We don't have water in this. You understand? For each element, you can say, what happens? It breaks open, it starts, and the gas comes out just like D, what? What am I looking for? Uranium, plutonium. Watch out for what element you're going to be looking for because it's all in the letters. Don't let those letters marching in. It's the letters of the Latter-day Saints. They come marching in with the spider as she rise so high and it rains, she come down the drain. Crazy old spider went up the drain again. I don't want to put pressure on my mind. If I had this set up like a studio over here, I wouldn't care if I forgot as much as I did. But right now, I have to push myself to another realm, and I have to even block myself out and go off subject just so I'm able to refocus and get back. If I never learn to go offline, how will I learn to stay online? So then we have, going back to the Monopoly game, we're going to go through this a little bit faster. We have 3, 5, 8. Then we have 3, 8. Then we have 3, 9. Then we have 4, 7, 9. Okay. Wow, that's the Monopoly board. Oh, I never did it like this, what's it called? Well, I want to show you, I'm just looking at my Monopoly board. I don't know if you can see it. See my Monopoly board? See the way I designed the corners with Christmas trees to hold up? The cards are right there. You see the way on one of the Christmas trees there's a boat where go to jail is, and then where go to jail, it's an old boot and a dog lying down. If you think, and I think, oh, I forgot to show you the dice. 6, 4. 2 houses, 4 houses, 1 hotel, 2 hotels, 6 houses, 2 hotels. 6, 2, 2, 6. 6, 2, 2, 6. Let me see if there's anything else in my little shoe over here. So where are we at? I did Connecticut. I did this. I did the fish. Oh, this is the one. Oh, my God. This is insane. I didn't do this yet. First of all, revelation. Rev up the car. Revere. Level. To lift up in French. Lever. Eve. It's all in the first. There, it means green. There, to go towards. RV is like a trailer camper. You're going on vacation. The last part of it is lation. Revelation. What do you think you can do at lation? L-A-T-I-O-N. Lation? Well, I want to know something. Can we do this with revelation? Latino. Now I got to start studying Latino and studying what the dream, because Rev means to dream and speed it up. What is happening? Who is the Latino? Who is the Latino queen? Who's known in this world as the Latino queen? Nobody know? Oh, yes, you, sir, in the background? You want to vote for me? For what, sir? We're not forgetting, I can't pass, I got to go to shul very soon, for the shofar must be blown tomorrow night. Just as the sun goes down, we must fast today. I shall blow this horn, and I shall blow this horn, and I shall connect with the skies. As tomorrow night I will close the skies, and we will have a new year. A new year on the old calendar, the Hebrew calendar, not an old calendar, a consistent calendar that's been going on 57 and 73 fine years and somewhat days, but less than 7. Or is it tonight the beginning of the connection between 7 and 8 and day 1 of the next year of the closing of the shears of the sky? 1 week later. 7 has 8 but 8 has 9. Because of the G and H and the H and I, because high and I, and the way you twist them, you cannot have a heaven, because we wouldn't be here, and it wouldn't be called a heaven. It would only be called creation. Because nobody would call it anything else, because that would be the only place. So let me write this down. Creation is a being. Creation, 8, 9, 8, 9, 7, 8, 8, 9. So 8 and 9. If you take away 9, there's no 8. If you take away 9, 8 stays, because, yeah, if you take away 9, 9 sits next to nothing. The only thing 9 sits next to is 9, and then when you recount, it's 1. If you go back, it's 8. Okay, okay, I understand this. Okay, okay. Okay, this is really cool. H-I-A, H-I-A, here. Yeah! Anyways, we're going to jump on to something else. Do it real quick, as fast as I can go. What didn't I say? What did I say? So we wanted to go back to Enzo, something I didn't finish if you stood here. We started with Enzo, and the reason for the Enzo is N and Z. You create 40 between the two of them. 14th letter, 26th letter, alpha, omega, based on what they are. The N sounds from the group of electronic E-Ron, robot here, N, enter, N, E and N is owned by E. E, 5 plus 9 is 14, that is N. The E is the owner of N. And W is owned by E because it's 599 is ENW. 599 ENW. So yeah, so where were we going? Let me see what I was going. Yes, so we're on Enzo over here, and the reason is because when we reconnect the alphabet, in the spot here it's open. It's an open space. It's almost like this. There's an open space, right? So I have this on one ear, I have this on the other ear, now I'm connected. So you make a circle there. But now, the circle is there. Where's the circle? The circle is there. And you got to put something in it. You got to put something in the circle. This is the N pass. Okay, I didn't design the N in it. Okay, I designed something else. I designed the bird. I didn't want to tell you why, but anyways. Okay, so this is the N pass. The last. When they say in the alphabet, okay, sometimes Y is because after Z to reconnect the connection, because sometimes Y, someone's coming home or someone's going out, they use the Y pass. So the pass is touching the two parts of the alphabet, because the whole alphabet, it doesn't just start and end. It continues forever. You can use any letter you want over and over, right and right and right. There's no ending to the alphabet. It's all upon your mind, your choice of what you want to do. So you get over here and you put the letter Y in between here. So when you bring it back over here, before the Y entered, you had Enzo. Now that the Y enters, you have NZ or Enzoe. Now I have to work on that. But if you really look at it, you have enzyme, you have, it just continues. There's more than one position to start that N. Okay, now we're going to get to something else, is I multiplied the worlds of all sevens 9 times. And just because I came up with this answer, it was retarded. Just retarded. Like the first one, okay? It's 1176.49, which relate to 6 and 5. The only and the highest way you can get it on a dice cube is 6 and 5. They are not the same. 5 does have the spirit, and it is 2 times. 2 times 2b equals the 4 dice over here. Okay? So that's why it's 11. Then it has 76. 7 odd, 6 even, and the king. Right? The king as a K is number 2. Is number 4. The R, roi, in French, is 18. In the 13th position. Makes him 31. 3 and 1 is also 4. Okay, they can't stop learning shit. R and K equals R13 roi and R18 equals 31. K equals 13 and 11. Okay, so then let me get back. 11, 76, 49. 49 is 7 times 7 equals the 49. 4 is the beginning of the 4 corners. Everything starts with the 4 corners, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 all have 4 corners on the card and on the dice. So that's where it starts, that's where it ends, and that's why they call it eternal. Not maternal. Eternal. 76 is what I told you. 7 by 6 is 42. It is in the center and represents at the same time the letter M, okay? There's so many things right here, because 1176, right? 1176. If I put the 7 and 6 together, it'll be 1113. So you would say 11 is K, and 13 is M. KM. K, M, and then we have 7 and 6. Then we have 4 and 9, which is 13, which is AC. Mac. It says M-A-C-K, Mac. There's many ways to do it. I'm not going to get into all of them. Anyways, the numbers on the next level, when all the worlds had 7, okay, don't forget, when a dice cube is sitting on a table, there's 1 up that the casino sees, but there are 4 all around. 1 is an opposite, 2 of them are oppositions to each other. So you can only use 2 of them, or 3 of 4 if you're connecting, depending which numbers they are. I don't know how the whole system works. I'm telling you, it just keeps coming in, and I'm loving it. I hate that I'm doing all these screwed up, mixed up, and breakdown and division of everything I say in bits and pieces, and I'm sorry that you have to work so hard. Most of the people end up shutting it down by 2 minutes, so I may just be talking to myself until 2014 or before. The next level, 7 sevens, comes out to 82, 35, 43. 82 or 28 is time heaven or earthling. Earthling, I'm an earthling. 28. To revert that 28, it becomes a 10-10. 2882 becomes 10-10 or 110. Is it a 110 volt? Or is it the part of your mind that they say works at 10? Then we have 35. That's part of creation. Isn't it funny? The way 3 times 5 goes into the center and says part of creation. It also equals out to 8. It becomes, anyways, I'm going to get down to the last one, okay? The last one, 7 by 7 times 9, 7 times 7 times 7, 9 times, equals 40 is the game, equals 35 creation of the past, 36 creation of man, and 07 islands. It's insane. It says exactly what the game number is right here. Here's the game. You can say 4 delta. You can go 403 if you want to look at it 403, then you go 035, and you can work. There's so many ways to work these numbers. You can go on the outside. 7 is 11. 0 is 0. 6 and 3 is 9. 5 and 3 is 8. So now I'm going to write it down and see what that does, because I didn't think of that before. I don't always think of everything right away because I'm never thinking. I can't think. It's impossible. I don't want to think at all. I just wanted to keep flowing in, and whatever comes, comes. The only thing I'm doing is guiding, you know. Yeah, you small legs over here with information, you go down in this area, and you small legs with this information, you go down in this area. Oh, yeah, and you big egg over there, you come up here first. I want to see what's hurting you. Big egg. Okay, so the answer is 11, 0, 9, wait, 11, 0, 9, how did 9 come before 8? Wow, the number's pushed over. Anyways, it comes out to the beginning, because one of them is 0, so the first 3 numbers, 1109, 1109, okay, and then 098. Because 098, if you cut it in half, it's 49. Can't split 49 in half, can you? But you sure can fix it up if you move an extra yard and you get to the 50-yard line. You'd be halfway. Halfway from, halfway to. But again, you got to move the ball back a little bit, give you a little space between the two teams so you can get up and play again. Don't forget, in soccer, there is extra time after 90 minutes. Why 90? Why 15 minutes in sports hockey? Why no time on baseball? Why the extra time in soccer? Why the football has that stitching? How many parts of the football are there that creates the round ball? How many stitches did they put into that ball to take that ball? As everybody thinks and laughs because it's only a number, but it's a number and a place in creation. They call it a pigskin. They play it for millions and billions. They play in Soldier Field. So the army is ready up to run. So watch out for the Redskins, because if the Redskins come out, you know, the Indians are back in the field. So you see the Tomahawks come with the Redskins. And now you got the Tomahawks and the Redskins. But that's all to say, because I saw a golden seal, but now they're gone. They changed to see things that were smaller. They said it, they drank some soda. It was smaller, so they called it mini. They drank this soda when it was mini soda that moved away from the golden bridges. And so the seal had to move. What had to fill its gap in place? Are there any more teams but a little brew, like the Milwaukee Brewers, something to dig up? I don't know. I'd rather fly away and be a cardinal. Where would I be? I'd be a saint. I'd be a Saint Cardinal, and I'd fly away. You know, they had lowly teams and out teams. They had Blue Jays, but you know what? It got so cold they had the white on the breast and the white on the chest and blue all around. We know where the sky was blue. The baby Blue Jay, B and J, total of 12. 102. The 3, the separation of the space, the connection between the two sides. Whatever goes in the middle is what happened in that action. But I work from rotation. That's why I can never have the end answer. But I do have the end answer. But I have the answer that all of you that absolutely never conceived that it was that easy to do. And it is. It all started with 1 from none. When God made his X, he was 10. By the time he made his O, he was 25. Because he had to move center. You had to have a way to go around. You had to find the core. The core of the center of the pin takes up space. How much does the pin go around and how much does the core go around while the pin is connected to it? And it always is. It's actually, its head is screwed on flat for the time that goes round. For the time that sounds, for the defeat in all the wars that ever come to be, they were wars, and that was a bee. You got stung at both ends. If you kill the bee and one side dies, they all die. They don't grow back. We don't need them. We don't need war. We don't need an old bee stinging us in the ass another time. So they take them away. They put the war sticks on 2 sides of the bee so she can never attack herself. They should have did the same to man, so man couldn't do the same. But they gave man 2 legs. Thank God. They gave him a 3rd. Now he's thinking with his penis. Now he wants to fuck everybody. You do know that God had 1 rod and 1 shaft, and he gave it to Moses, and he didn't shaft him. That was God's shaft. And that's what he gave to us, the one Spirit. The shaft that made the dots in all the cubes of the dice. It was such a beautiful day today. Soon it is time to go to shul for opening up and the closing of the skies, for the skies that are actually never closed, for the 216 hours in a 10-day period in which we actually think of partaking all and only our life, in which there's only 144 of those hours that are ours. 72 of them we sleep. They do not belong to us. Our thoughts are not controlled, not unless you do something during the day before the night you go to sleep. Those hours count for 72, for the 2 worlds of 7, for the 2 times 7 worldly pass, and the 2 plus 7 and 9 birth, equaling to the 23 creation. We totaled out at God. X and O totals 25. 1 reveals in the alphabet at 15. The other is a Roman numeral. It can also be counted to Jack or J. J is the 10th letter. It possesses an omega letter. It can be used to fulfill a different letter within its space. All eggs can be filled. There is something different in every egg. Sometimes you must wait 9 months until you understand that something different of what you will get is what you will get, and you cannot change it. There is no exchange on the egg of birth of life. You can never enhance, because what you enhance you take away for your self-unsatisfaction of the way you are. Time has been clicking down. Too bad I wasn't a horse, because then I'd be trotting on the course. I choose to be a filly. Wow. They say fillies fly. They have the spirit of 76. They have the filly fanatic, a crazy horse known to be, and now you associate the crazy horse somewhere else and you go on. But where do you go? Do you go to I am who I am? Miami? I am who I am. Miami. So where is he? Where does he hang out? Is he with the alligators? Lately I've been seeing a vision. Highway 9 and 5. Highway 9 and 5. Highway 9 and 5. That is the passive 9. The 5 is in the center hole. The 9 is in the corner. If you total them up, it is 14. 4 plus 1 is 5. Rubik's Cube. When you count the top cubes, there are 9. If you go to the second row but count like you're looking down, you will see 3. That will be 12. The next one over in the next row will make 13. Lucky 13, because the next one is the whole. It is the Christ of Jesus, and nothing goes there but the turn of your heart. The phone is ringing, so I must now leave it at this piece, but I will be coming back to another one. Oh, the phone has gone. Thank you very much, telephone. Thank you, O Lord, for letting me be going on and on. Do we have any other sports teams? Washington comes back as a hero. He went out and passed on. They carved his stone up high. The Montreal Poor Losing Exposition, Exodus, have went out and left to Washington to bring serenity between the thoughts of man, to bring Washington and the revelation of the revolution, of the independence and the freedom of all man, of peace and love, in peace and love, in which the circle that connects the two sides, is fulfilled. It is with an I grec, an I and a grec. It's a French way of saying why. It's come with an I grec. It comes to connect to both sides. It has come back. Washington, they are playing baseball. Apparently they are playing good this season. What is the revelation of the understanding of the freedom in the name? Where we go back to 76 and Philadelphia, now we have Washington. First we had freedom, now we have Washington. We had the Liberty Bell, now we have Washington. If Washington loses, that will signify what? Washington should win, but it wouldn't be fair for me to make that guess, because apparently they're the best team in the league. So if I made that guess, I would only make 50%. Now, the only other name that's come up to me lately is number 5. Something in California. Where do the highways meet? If 5 and 9 meet like the way we are talking, then that who should win, then that is the one who is closest to the title. That is the one for man. That would mean is Washington is in there with the Oakland A's or somewhere in California, the A's. That would mean the A's would have to win because Washington brought out something about the liberty. And just because the numbers connect, I can't bring in anything like more than that. I'd have to study the statute and all the stuff of independence. I do not know very much. I only know what I can connect. What I can connect is what I know. Sometimes I get answers to things I don't know, and I learn about them on the go. 2098. Oh my God. Oh my God. (2012). All the worlds align right here on these numbers. I reverse them to bring the worlds back together. So I take 4 and 7, 11, 0 and 0, 0, 3 and 6, 9, 5 and 3, 8. 1 and 1 is 2. This one, even if it's 0, it must take up a position of a space, because this is the Jupiter count. Okay, when everything aligns, this is Jupiter. Jupiter has 4 lines, everybody else has 3. 3, 4, 3 are the lines. Then you have over here, 2098, to a 10-10 world. You don't need to bring this one to a 10-10 world, because when you look at the clock, does your hours ever say, hey, we're reaching the 27-hour mark? Never says I'm reaching the 27-hour mark. 23, 59, 59, it all falls to zeros. So I got to remember, what am I looking at? The clock. So let me see this. Let me see this at the clock. 23, 24, 00 time. Because it's 59, 59 and 100ths of a second, which is God, because it's 10:10 before anybody arrived, and that's 100. Then the 10 he showed you to play, -5. Okay. Okay, so now what I did here is the second side, right, you can go to 99. But you can't go to 99 because you're repeating one, and then you won't have it. This falls to a 0, or we repeat one. Okay, this and this become the same. Then you end up with 3 numbers again, so they can't repeat. Not the same as down here. It's not the same as down here. Okay, they could repeat at 0, but it'll just say something different. This is more significant. Maybe that's a better thing to say. This and this to a 10 is 1 and 2. 2, 0, 1, 2. That's this year when 777, 77, 77 come together. Now I can go all the way up to 11 sevens if I want. But then I'd be talking about something in this world. Don't forget, we're ahead of the actual number of reconnect. We're always ahead of it, because we're going around and around and around and around. So we can never go all the way back. So you come back once around. 3, 7, 5, 8. All right. I got the combination. Raphael. We'll come back a little bit later. I got to go to show. 7286. I really appreciate anybody that got the 53 minutes. And if you got the 53 minutes, man, and you're in there and you want to learn, well, I don't know anybody else that can actually teach this. And if there are people that can teach this, personally, I would like to meet them. I would like to meet somebody that can outdo me. I don't want anybody to do me. I don't want anybody to outduel me. I used the wrong word. Anyways, before I let you go, I just want to take a look at a few numbers here. Yes, so we did the Monopoly board just to finish. It was 3, 5, and 8. Okay, that's a combination I'll work on later, which is 16. And then we have 3 and 8, which is 11. Then we have 3 and 9, which is 12. I'm bringing them down all to one number. Then we have 20. So when I brought them down on this side, the Monopoly board, I get 20, 12, 11 to 16. 5 years. That means 11 was the first year. You can't have it on the first year. 11. You know why? Because 0 is actually part of the spirit connection. 0.0, go. So it can happen in 2000, it has to happen in 2001. But 2011, 1 and 1 are the same. So it has to go to the next year. So that's why I like 2012, 2013, 2014, and we blow out the candles, the first partition has ended. Year 14 complete. The entrance to the new passageway of the consciousness. The understanding and the accepting of what it is, and the willingness to follow those and others to take it up so you can learn to keep up with the new consciousness. Because if you are not able to lift and hold on to the door and only balance the door and take what you need in information and not waste your time, you will have an ease in getting in. But if you fight the door or fight anybody at all, your door will have pressure on it and will not be able to open. We must remember, how can God let us into the computer system if we're full of viruses, cheating and lying? We pray to ourselves, we pray to idols. Oh, American Idol, let's pray to them. Just in general, I don't mean it like that. But like I said in the video yesterday, if you had green, gold, and silver, which one would you take? The answer is silver. It means your mind is alive, you're a pinball wizard, and you're still in the matrix. If you take the green, it could be misunderstood. And you would be shit on. And you would be green. And you would be sick. You don't take the cash and you don't take the dough, and you use the dough to rise. But you don't make your money rise on interest. By taking it on interest, you're taking interest away from somebody else. Somebody else is losing. We're not here to make anybody else lose, but to gain. There is a flow, there is an ocean, there is a wave, there are paddles, there are boats for every kind of society and all kinds of people. It will almost be just like the same thing as what we're living now, just a little different. This is the second ring. I must answer the phone. Thank you very much. Raphael, 7286.